That was Falling Echoes with Schizo. You're listening to the EdgeOnAir.com, the greatest music you've never heard. And with me, I have a special guest calling all the way from Rotterdam in the Netherlands. We have John from Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. How you doing, John?
Hi, great, John. Thank you.
Hey, so you guys formed in 2013. Is this the first band that you've ever played in, or have you played in multiple bands before? How'd you guys get together?
We get together through internet, and but we all played in different bands from since we were young, and have some success, some not. But we play a long time now. I'm playing in a band about 40 years now.
Wow, so you've been playing for a while now, and I really like how you guys kind of brought back the kind of rock and roll, like the roots of rock and roll, and I really like how like it's almost like rock as it should be, just guitar riff, bass, and drums, and just really good vocals. What can you say about some of your influences you have? Was it mostly stuff that you heard when you were a kid, or are you influenced by anything nowadays? Just kind of go into some of your main influences.
Okay, now I grew up in the '60s, so the Beatles and Chuck Berry and that kind of people had a great influence on all of us. So although we play in different bands, when we got together, it seems that our sounds go back to where we came from and the music we loved. That sound is not anymore around, only in the old records. So, so we said, this sounds great. It gives a great feel. It's pure. So let's keep on it. There's something new in this time where everything is based on the computer and you can sample everything. We are pure. We really play our own instruments.
Right, right. Yeah, and I really respect that because, like you said, yeah, everything I feel nowadays is digitalized, and you guys are going back to that kind of just guys playing instruments, like you said, and you definitely can sense the purity and the realness from you guys. And you guys are a trio, which I respect even more. I mean, I know I can name some of my favorite three-person bands. Obviously, Cream is a big one. That's a huge one. It's one of my favorite bands. I think one of the greatest three-person bands of all time. Can you name some of your favorite bands, three trio bands?
I like the Police. They are something the same. Their sound is pure, and they are only three pieces, but they make a noise for 10. So
Right, right.
that kind of bands we like. But sometimes we get a friend with us who's a left-handed bass player, so I put the bass and play the guitar. So we get another feel because he is another kind of bass player like me. So so we can uh, test the songs on how does it feel with four, or do we keep it on three. Uh, but three is easy because when the drums and bass has all the room you need to go berserk. So so, we keep it pure. We write about stuff we've seen or heard or been through our lives, uh, and we show that people above 50 still walk.
Yeah, that's
We
awesome.
go to concerts of Paul McCartney because we love the sound where we grew up with, the 60s, 70s. We have no feel with the sound of today, and that's normal. That's for the young kids. Uh, 30 years later, They love the sound where they grew up. That's normal. But there are a lot of people from our age, he still hunker for the old sound. And that's what we're bringing. Only with new songs, instead that they got to go to a tribute band and someone tried to be like people they are gone. But what can you do?
Right, and I know you kind of touched this a little bit about how you write songs. Do you write most of the songs, or do you or is it more of a group effort?
Uh, uh, no, you can say the half of the songs I've written, and the other half is Emil, the guitar player, and me. You got a guitar riff or a lot of chords that makes a sound, and I put the lyrics on it, and I sing most of the songs.
Yeah, I see that, and I was also that was going to be my next question. Your voice, you have a very distinct kind of vocal style. What can you say that like s- singers that you admired that kind of you took off their kind of vocal style, or and what kind of new things did you bring uh like to your style of singing?
I start singing. Normally, I was a composer in a band, always the bass player and the composer, and I always choose someone with a better voice than me. That's the truth. But I went singing in this band because there was no one else to sing. So that's why I do it. And people liked it, so I keep doing it. So I said, okay. But one of my most favorite singer is Roy Orbison. He got a beautiful voice.
Yeah, he's a great voice.
Yeah, because he can sing uh, on different levels. So he can do the soprano, but he also can do the baritone. A great voice, great range in his voice, and I think he's very
He is pretty cool. And I was going to talk about I watched one of your music videos for Taking Everything, and I really liked it, by the way. And it's
cool.
almost, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it almost has kind of like a punk kind of feel to it. You know, was it just me, or
Yeah,
did you guys plan that?
it's funny because we just write the songs as it comes. Other people says, "Hey, that's this or there's this." We went in the studio and the producer come out. They said, "You sound like the Trucks." We okay, but everyone hears something else in it, and it's great because we write the songs and then they say, "Well, what do you sound like, or where you compare?" We say, "We don't know. You tell us. We are us. This is the way we make music together." And maybe because the guitar player and me, we are a great Beatle fan. We love the Beatles songs, but we also love the Kings, but we also love the Who or other kinds of bands from the 60s. But we love Chuck Berry or Chet Atkins, the way he played, or the Carpenters, the voice of Karen Carpenter, beautiful. So all the influence comes together in the songs, in the music that we write. Uh, our drummer is a great fan of Keith Moon. Sometimes he sounds like it on the stage. But I think it's the combination of the three of us that makes specific sounds. It sounds familiar, but still it's new.
Oh yeah, and that's what I really like about you guys. You guys, like you said, it's familiar. It's almost like we're going back in time, and you know, we're hearing some of the bands that came out during the 60s and 70s, but it almost has like a new spin on it, which I really like, and it's refreshing to hear a band playing that's like the roots, like root rock and roll, like real rock and roll, like, and I think that's really cool. And for those of you guys just tuning in, I'm talking to John from Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. Uh, really great band. Uh, and I know you guys have your own website where we could where you guys have all your music and where we can learn more about you, and that's on reverbnation.com/Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. That's right. And where can we find where can we follow you guys on social media? You guys have a Facebook page. Do you guys have a Twitter account as well?
Yeah. The Twitter is at Gentleman of Rock, and Facebook is just Gentleman of Rock and Roll. You can find us there, and then you see. Sure, now we're playing in Holland. Slowly we're going over to Belgium. In August we play a festival in England. But yeah, our dream is to go to the roots, and that's America, and that's of course.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys planning on coming over to the States?
Yeah, we loved it, but somebody has to pay us.
Yeah, right.
Because it's very expensive. If you in the 60s, you got promoters who had the balls to bring a band from England or from Holland, Golden Ewing, or they came. Hammond broke. They came to America, and a promoter had the balls to book concerts for them so they can express themselves. Today, everything is only from how much money can we make, and if you come, how much money do you bring with you?
Right. It's a little different nowadays.
Yeah. So, the 60s, 70s, people. How do you say that? They got the balls to do it, to take a chance on a band.
Yeah, people are more cautious nowadays with
Yeah.
spending and whatnot.
Yeah, because when the Beatles the first time they came to America, they only had one hit, nothing more.
Wow, that's amazing.
One number one, and then they came to America. They came with Ed Sullivan, and there was a great commercial business about it. But they had one DJ who was crazy about them, and they had one number one hit, and that started it all. So someone had the balls to bring them over and book all the concerts where we now love, so Shea Stadium or Hollywood Bowl and so. But nobody knew from the first time if there gonna be any people to watch them or buy the tickets.
Right. All right, guys. I'm talking to John from Gentlemen of Rock and Roll, calling all the way from Rotterdam in Netherlands. Check these guys out. Go on their website, reverbnation.com/Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. They're on Spotify. You guys are on iTunes as well, right?
Yeah. Right. We got some EPs and one album, and that's No Time to Waste concert tour. That's a live album. Everything you hear is our concert. It's the first part of the concert that is recorded and that we have going out.
That's really cool seeing bands doing that, because I feel like bands don't do that anymore as much as they used to. I feel actually record live albums. Like, you don't really see that too much. I think bands nowadays are afraid to do that because they're afraid they're not gonna sound that good, or they'd rather it be produced and mastered. And I think that shows your guys' character to be able to have the confidence to actually do that and record a live concert album and release it.
Now you see, when we were in the studio, producer there, he said, "Hey, we're gonna use the click track." We said, "No way, no way. We play as we play. We play pure." In the early 60s or 50s, nobody used a click track, and it kills the soul in the song, because if you listen back to the old records, sometimes you hear them speeding up in the song, and sometimes slowing down. There was no click track in the 50s or 60s or 70s. Now everything has to be on time, and that it sounds great, but there's no spirit anymore.
Right. All right.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is really too bad. I agree, and I totally agree with you. It almost, it sounds great. it's gonna come out good, but right, it doesn't have that soul and and spirit that a band like you guys playing a live album, and I really admire that. That's really awesome. So you guys are having you guys have shows coming up in the Netherlands, and like you said, you were playing a festival in England. What festival is that at?
I don't know what it's called. We play there for 2 days. We will be a week in England. A radio DJ organized it, or the radio station organized the festival. It's for charity, and we are invited to come a week to England and do a radio live appearance and to play on the 2 days of the festival as main attraction. And he takes us to Abbey Road because that's something we love to see. But that's great because if you can do good with your music, that's the best reward you can get.
Right. That's great, man. Well, thanks for coming on. It was really cool talking with you, and keep rocking.
Yeah, we will. I hope you will play in our songs so that people invest in us.
Yeah, yeah. We have a bunch of songs on your our station, but we're having technical problems playing it. But we're gonna fix that, and we're gonna play songs. We have actually a bunch of songs from your new album, Making History. Uh, ma- m- how is it like? Well, let's just end with that. How is it like making that album? Was it any different than the ones before?
No, no, this was great fun. We worked in a new studio with a new producer, and and he gave us a bit of the real 60s sound with the gimmicks from the 60s. That was great. We have a lot of fun doing it. That's the joy in it. The live playing is the greatest thing there is. But getting your songs together and with someone that knows what you try to do, that feels you, that's a real blessing.
Yeah, it is, and I bet, and that's great. Thanks for coming on again. Check everyone. This is John from Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. Check them out on their website, www.reverbnation.com/Gentlemen of Rock and Roll. Follow them at Twitter at Gentlemen of Rock. On Facebook, they have music on Spotify. Check out their new album, Making History, and go see these guys. It's like going back in a time machine and seeing these guys. It's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, John, and I wish nothing but the best.
Thank you, and I hope to see you one day face to face. That will be great.
Definitely. All right, thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Bye.
Have a good one. That was John from A Gentleman of Rock and Roll. Just talked to him. You know, we have a bunch of his songs from his newest album. It's Making History, but we're having some problems, as if you were listening to earlier, playing it. But we will fix that hopefully by tonight. But yeah, check these guys out. They're a really good band. It's like going back and hearing bands that were coming out in like you said, the 60s and 70s, who didn't use that many gimmicks, like computer gimmicks or they're just bass sound, guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and it's really cool to see that. And yeah, check these guys out. But you're listening to The Edge on Air. Hopefully we'll fix that and we'll be able to play these guys on The Edge. But right now we have two drunks and a guitar running through the night. You're listening to The Edge. That was Falling Echoes with Schizo. You're listening to The Edge on Air.com, the greatest music you've never heard. And with me